standing here in the Jordan River, Sea of Galilee. Caesarea, the Mount of Transfiguration. The spring that Gideon took his men to before going into battle. Jericho, the Dome of the Rock. Masada, the city of Jerusalem. The palace of King David. Petra, the tomb of Lazarus. On the street where Jesus and his disciples walked. This is the Via Dolorosa, Golgotha, the place of the skull, the Mount of Olives, the Garden of Gethsemane. Check it out, pomegranate juice.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is so sweet. Oh my goodness.
It's so natural.
Woo, pomegranate juice. Let's
Sour,
go.
I love it.
It is a little bit of sour as well, a little tart and sweet. Oh man, it's so refreshing though. Fresh squeezed pomegranate juice on the Mount of Transfiguration.
Let's go.
So guys, we keep going back and telling other people to go back and get more of the pomegranate juice and mango juice. And I went back to get a mango for my mom, and the guy said, hey, you can get not just the drink, but get a free mango. So he gave me a mango.
We got a free mango. It's commission.
So guys, also here on Mount Tabor, if you look down behind me, you can see a community. Just a little ways down there is a community called Endor. And if you remember the story with King Saul, as he was at a position of feeling discouraged and feeling weak and feeling frustrated, just about to go into one of the most epic battles of his kingdom, he was afraid. He was scared. And so instead of turning to God, instead of turning and remembering the promises God had made him that he would be with him, instead of thinking back to the advice that Prophet Samuel had given him when Samuel was alive, he was panicking. And he was afraid, and he didn't know where to turn. And so he went to a woman of Endor, a witch of Endor, and received horrible advice from what he thought was the prophet Samuel, which is actually an evil spirit speaking to him. And Satan gave him the message that you are going to lose the battle, you are going to fail, and you are going to die. And that's kind of what Satan loves to do, is he came to steal and to kill and to destroy. And so he loves to give discouraging messages whenever we go to him. So the real question is, where do we turn when we're afraid? Where do we turn when we don't know what else to do? Do we turn to the promises of God? Do we remember the things that God has told us? Do we trust in him even when we can't see him, even when we can't feel him, even when we don't know exactly what it is that is going to face us the next day? Or do we turn to something else? Do we turn to superstition? Do we turn to tradition? Do we turn to just straight up falsehood, which is what happened here? Do we turn to the enemy, to the devil, to hear advice from him? And if we do that, we're always going to get a message of discouragement. I think back to times in my life where I've fallen, where I've sinned. And if I look at what Satan has for me, his message for me is give up because it's too late for you, you'll never make it. But God's message is always, come to me, my child. I will forgive you and I will give you rest. So the choice is ours. When we fall, when we sin, when we're afraid, when we're scared, when we don't know what's coming next, the choice will always be ours. Where will you turn? I choose to turn to Jesus, and I encourage you to always make that same choice. God bless you guys. Lessons from the Mount of Tabor here, Table Mount, and the community of Endor just down here behind me.